Legends, welcome back. We are continuing our series on the Mission Possible. This one is for the garden, and in particular, the fertilizer bonuses. So you can understand how it works and how you can benefit from it. Let's get to it. So we're going to discuss the fertilizer bonus as well as the garden sustainability. Now, when you go into the garden, now granted, we don't know what the new UI is going to look like. Hopefully it's going to just be similar. Well, we know it's going to be different colors. But what we're referring to when we talk about the fertilizer bonus are these three here. The time bonus, the balance bonus, percentage, as well as the total. Now the time bonus increases 0.1% per day. Now, the fertilizer bonus, there are two internal assets, the plants and the seeds. The plants have a constant price, which means the price is always the same amount of seeds, 2.592 million seeds that's required in order to buy a plant. Every time a plant that is purchased, it is created. When you have a system where the plants that are generated are given to people buying in and compounding, that ensures the value rate, plants per LP for people compounding and new users, is constantly getting better. So the percentage of seeds you get per LP token is constantly getting better. So you are getting a better rate if you are buying in. And since the costs are getting better for seeds and the plant price per seeds, it is a constant. Every day, the amount of assets you get for your capital is increasing. And that's why we call it the fertilizer bonus. Essentially, it ensures that there is a level playing field and there is no runaway price of seeds or plants whereby the exponential compounding or people constantly buying in takes the price to such a point where it's no longer feasible for new people to enter the game. Because I have almost 800,000 plants, but there's people with 28 million plants. And just think, in the beginning, the plant price was, I remember, $35, $40, $50 range, and the seeds were anywhere from $8 to $9. If it just kept going up and up and up, the plant value would be $500, and the seeds alone could be $50 or $100. It's 1.2. It's just a constant price for the plants and ever increasing seed supply, which ensures that those who are compounding and those who are buying in are always getting a fair rate. When you have inflation in the system, but the inflation is getting paid out to the compounding and new buyer, it's a value transfer from people doing negative actions to the people who are compounding and putting in new capital. When Forex created the garden miner, which you have to remember, it's a miner, that was his initial thought, was that he wanted to create it and make it fair for the new people, because he knows that the way the old miners were, even some of the new miners still being created, whoever got in first had all the advantage. Who came in last, they just two tears in the bucket. And he wanted to ensure that when he created it for DRIP, for the drip garden, that it would always be fair, no matter if the person got in on the first day or the person got in the middle or the person gets in a year from now. Garden sustainability. What determines the sustainability and what determines the money you make out of the garden is how often you compound. Again, this is a game you're battling against me and all other. Oh, congratulations to the drip garden. It has now surpassed 30,000 players. So now you're playing against me and the other 29,999,000 players in the game. If you start selling and are not compounding, the amount you get out of the system reduces and goes to zero after 60 days. That is a heck of a point that you need to remember. So that's why a lot of us say the drip faucet is the foundation, because the other two, everything else is not the same. The faucet pays you the 1% per day. If you're getting 50 tokens, drip tokens a day, you get 50 tokens from day one all the way through the last day till you hit your max payout. In the drip garden, as you see there, 60 days max, you're gone. You done wiped it out. And your 3.3% will start dropping. 3.3 today, 3.2, 3.3, 3.0, so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. In the drip faucet, it's 1% a day no matter what. That's why it's the foundation. That's another point you have to remember. So again, let me read that again. If you start selling and not compounding, the amount you can get out of the system reduces and goes to 0% after 60 days. There are mechanics that put brakes on people who just come in and sell. It's a higher risk model and a higher APY. So less restrictions and higher APY plus hyper compounding is going to be higher risk, higher reward, and it's up to each investor to determine their risk appetite. It's way higher risk than drip and animal farm, etc. It's lower risk compared to other miners that are out there in the crypto space. And again, you have the reservoir, which is the safest, then the faucet, then the piggy bank at 3%, then the drip garden at 3.3%. Plus, it takes a lot more work in these than the faucet. In the faucet, you can go 10 days and don't compound. In the faucet, in the drip garden and in the piggy bank, if you don't hydrate for 10 days, especially in the piggy bank, you lose that on your time lock bonus for those 10 days. And if you don't compound inside of the garden, the decay is going to kick your ass. It's not the same. That's what I'm saying. It's not the same. I don't care what we'll go. Everybody, if you're not in the garden, in drip faucet, you go into the garden first. It's not on the same. It's not going to be the same complexity that it requires to be inside of the drip garden and the piggy bank compared to drip. Let's continue. So we discussed. So now you know how the fertilizer bonus works, how it affects you and the other players of the game. And always, 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 always remember, legends, the drip garden is a game. It's you against me and the other 29,000 players in the game. The winner is he or she, the legend that compounds the most. Period. We've already discussed in the other garden videos, the single versus the multi-wallets. We know what it's all about. It's about flexibility. And that decision on whether you do one wallet or more than one is totally up to you. Don't worry about what anybody else says. If you say I only want one, then you do one. If I want 5 wallets, then you do 5. You do what's best for you and your family's finances, period. We discussed the garden sustainability, how it's sustainable. And if you need more information on like how to get into the garden and navigate and everything else, the garden MPs are videos 4 through 4.5 now, because this is number 4.5. And as we all know, this is for informational and educational purposes only. This is never intended as any type of financial advice, because I am not a financial advisor. The garden is great. It's the great miner. You guys know the legends have been talking about it since late April, May, when we first started to talking and discussing creating the LPs to get ready for the farm opening. So what you want to do is always remember that these 3 things: crypto and DeFi is an individual endeavor. You do what's best for you, your family, your family's finances. Number 2, we have the best community and the best development team in all of crypto. 3, increase your knowledge, reduce your risk. Use the MPs to your advantage. Create your own playlist. I know I had some of the legends tell me, Mike, I had to go through it 3 or 4 times, and every time I go through, I get more information. That was the sole purpose of the creation of the MP series, is to help you navigate through the entire drip ecosystem. All the content that I try to put out is for information and educational purposes only. I am not here to clickbait you, talk about drip going to $100 tomorrow. You legends know what we do here and how we act legendarily. So please like, share, comment, and subscribe. As you see, Farmer Crypto here, L7 Crypto. Let's grow. Let's grow, let's grow, let's go. And to all of my legends, please like, comment, and subscribe. Engage.